Hi, I'm Saz Russell, a relationship coach here to help you have more ease, care, and connection in your relationships. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, the nights are getting longer, colder, darker as we move into cuffing season. Cuffing season basically being winter's equivalent of a summer fling. It refers to this time of year when people get motivated to couple up, and it tends to run from about October to March. That is the cooler months of the year. The temperature drops and coupling rises. Maybe it's because we crave the warmth and comfort of a safe, dependable body next to us. Maybe it's because loneliness increases because the nights are cold and dark and it's harder to motivate ourselves to socialize. And maybe it's because of the immense pressure that we get from the culture to have a special somebody during the holiday season. So we attach or cuff ourselves to someone during this time to have a cozy cuddle buddy that will keep away the winter chill. There's quite a bit of cultural pressure to be coupled up, and the idea of finding our other half in order to complete ourselves is at least as old as the ancient Greeks. And Plato describes a myth where humans were originally created with 4 arms, 4 legs, and a head that had 2 faces. But fearing their power, Zeus ended up splitting these beings into 2 separate parts, condemning them to spend their lives searching for their other halves. And these new creatures were miserable, yearning for their soul and bodily counterparts. According to the myth, when the 2 halves find each other, they'll have a wordless understanding of each other. They'll feel connected, they'll be in sync with each other, and they'll experience no greater pleasure. That is, they'll become whole because they've found their soulmate. Now, Plato objected to this idea that one person can be half of a whole and that we need somebody else in order to be complete. And soulmates, that is, a single person, can't solve the immense isolation caused by the alienation, competition, and scarcity of systemic oppression. But the idea that we're missing half of ourselves and we can't be whole until somebody else completes us, that can create a tremendous amount of loneliness. So whether you're cuffing up with someone new or you're in an established relationship, be careful about these injunctions that go along with the myth of finding your other half. And I'm reading from Mel Cassidy's article on the monogamy hangover for these different categories. The two-headed monster. We have to do everything together. If we do things differently or disagree, we can't be together. If I want this thing, my partner will also want this thing, naturally. If my partner wants this thing, I better also want this thing. Insecurity with being alone. I can't survive without you. I haven't seen, talked to you in a few days. Something must be wrong with the relationship. The relationship escalator. Our emotional connection is so strong, now we're on a relationship escalator together. Emotional labor as a marker of relational health. My partner will do emotional labor for me if they love me, and I have to do emotional labor for my partner to demonstrate my love. Personal value tied to a relationship. Who I am as a person will be reflected by the way my partner behaves. Permanency, whatever is true now has to always be true or everything is over. Expectation of telepathy. I don't have to express what I want. My partner should know what I want. If I have to ask for something my partner isn't already doing for me, then I'm being selfish and unreasonable. Sex is primary. A healthy relationship is based on lots of sex. If we aren't having sex, then something's wrong or the relationship isn't worth it or isn't working. Ownership and codependency. My partner has to do things for me. That's part of partnership. I need my partner to survive. Without them, I feel like nothing. Perfection. If I admit to a mistake, my partner will stop loving me. That's a tremendous amount of pressure. That means even if we are coupled up with someone, we might be feeling lonely anyway if our partner can't meet this idealistic script about the way relationships should go. What can we do instead? We can cultivate greater autonomy, self-attunement, and self-validation. We can recognize our implicit expectations around emotional labor, both what we're doing for and what we want from other people. We can practice noticing, naming, and reframing our expectations in relationships. We can shift from entitlement and obligation to one another to love and respect. We can interrupt our impulse to dictate each other's desires. We can learn to love ourselves in solitude. And we can also grow a mycelial network, a social mycelium connection, creating rich and diverse community so that we have an abundance of connection and we're not dependent solely on one person for our socializing.
Mel Cassidy also offers counterspells to combat the myth of being incomplete without our other half. I don't have to want all the same things my partner wants, and it's also okay if my partner doesn't want the same things I do. Everyone has different styles and rhythms of communication. My partners might want more communication than I do, or less. We have the ability to negotiate and creatively, comfortably find middle ground. The relationship escalator is only one way to do relationships. I don't have to default to it, and I can talk with my partners to customize the way we grow our connection. Change is the only constant. We cannot know what the future will bring, only what is true for us right now. Sex life is just one measure of a healthy relationship. Emotional intimacy, honesty, trust, and compassion are also good measures of healthy relationships. I can't dictate to anyone what they need to do or must do, but I can ask. I'm not obligated to do anything for my partners just to please them. My relationships will be strongest when I act from a space of authentic giving, when I want to do something for my partners. I don't have to be perfect. Admitting mistakes and rebuilding trust is a valuable part of relationships and intimacy. May you find comfort and care with yourself, within community. May you have warmth and light and a nourishing season. And if you'd like support learning how to love yourself in solitude or creating a more robust social network, book a one-to-one with me using the link in my bio. And if you're already coupled up with somebody, book a mediation with me and I can help you smooth out some of the bumps in your relational dynamics. So be it. See to it.